got an appointment to keep at Matriarch's Mercy. Let's just hope we don't get shelled too.
Somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally! Some help! We desperately need aid. Desperately! My family and I, we was making our way to the Mercy camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please. I don't... Vary, by my guess, she was bit on the thigh, high, like... can see bone. Or maybe white means infected? She's screaming all the time when she's awake. Then she goes to sleep. She's in agony. And my son ain't waked since the attack. Hurry, please. We must hurry or they'll be eaten. Or worse. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this way.
Guns cocked and loose. Just give us it.
Raph's back in business.
Think they'll notice if we jump the queue?
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's Mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days. presuming no unforeseen alterations. Ah, I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders, water defecting, there's no putting this right.
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Don't want it, don't need it. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
I swear, it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
Thus, and then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the Crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. They must be exceptionally pleased with the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy. Numbers here are pretty compelling. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors. Longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to it I shall get.
Get that information.
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions.
Reminds me of Tau Ceti right after the merger. Had to wait for my number to be called just to get rations and a cot.
Every atom in the universe.
Hope these folk don't have to wait as long.
Control reality and ascend to a state of virtual godhood. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Never as many as I would like, perhaps, but my little congregation grows by the hour. Eventually, my unsophisticated layperson friend, the knowledge just seeps right in. Give it a few years and they'll even be asking questions.
Commander, you got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this situation with the refugees. The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected. And beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Andes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food. You sure? The Order seems a whole lot more concerned with dazzling the populace with numbers than anything else. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war. But nothing's ever really free, is it? I went through this myself when Anti's Choice took over Tau Ceti. It took time to secure the merger, but once they did, we folk got the help we needed real quick. And all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's Mercy. So what is the Order actually gaining by doing this? The thought has crossed my mind, though I reckon we might have seen concrete proof of that by now. Anyhow, if the Order is in fact helping these folk with no hidden aims, then, well, I'll be the first to admit that there might just be merit in what they're selling. Appreciate you hearing me out.
Welcome. Have you come to bask in the Order's knowledge?
Broke my nose. Ah, I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now.
You used at least 2 words I ain't sure I know. And I already forgot the question. No? I think.
You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borstloaf.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you.
Keep your lamps lit. Wherever there's trouble, there's always opportunists willing to profit from it.
Do we know each other? Let's say we don't. I'm like,
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Hmm? Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention. Oh, really? Like they strung a few words together in a row and it all made sense? That's a marked improvement on earlier. Guessing they left out a bunch, though. Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilized pugilists, and a sick canid to feed.
Look, your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte stuff.
Don't feel like no stand-in.
Where do we go now? What happened to this place? What happened to this place? Oh, Matriarch's Mercy is no
We're
safer
not
than
going
the trenches.
anywhere. Not on the basis of some half-baked
You
prediction.
have a very known
This so-called
scholarly look.
Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. What little I understand, I actually sort of admire. I mean, from where I'm sitting, they hold the most potential. If only they worked harder to realize it. Because really, at the end of the day, ill intent and neglect feel pretty much the same. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. This camp keeps us safe from the war, and now the Order wants to keep us safe from the camp? Where are we supposed to go? I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but you, maybe you'll have better luck. Even the Order, for all of their logical ways, value an outside perspective. And because I've run out of options. Thanks, stranger. Maybe fate's on our side for a change. You can find Agarwal in the lift building, probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.2 that our situation will improve.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Mathematical predictions always keep us one step ahead. My latest augury noted that a stranger would come bearing an inconvenient message. This is about the exclusion zone, correct? Excuse me, but the intricate dance of the cosmos is anything but shady. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. We don't know, and therein lies the frustration. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, an outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. But you already knew that. Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
$1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. I have zero allotted time for random queries, at present or in the foreseeable future. But very well. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one can hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. Appreciate you respecting my time. My time is yours. You may peruse to your heart's content, but do so speedily for my sake.
By the law. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. Since you aren't a refugee, thank the architect. I knew you'd be back. Well, really, it was the seer that knew, but I can tend to your injuries, provided you have the bits to compensate me for my time. And I can take whatever you have, but I'll need to file a report and escalate it to as you wish. Right as rain. Now, will there be anything else? Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the seer predicted an outsider would find them.
Might have time to patch up 1 or 2 patients before we head out. I used to be a combat medic. A good one, too.
You also strike me as someone on the go. I need committed medical employees, not a freelancer. The seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all.
right. Ah, I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well, then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow? Matriarch's Mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. I share the very same surprise. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's Mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. I foresee you have much to do. I won't keep you. Adieu.
Mention some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
Are you going to be a problem?
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
If I may interject, High Scholar, don't you agree our time would be better utilized on more relevant discourse?
Seer Wiley's right, as always. Obviously, we've all more important things to do than to stand around trifling with truth tables. Perhaps later, then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge? DeVries? Now, why does that name ring familiar? Landon, do you recall a DeVries?
I don't generally concern myself with passers through. If this DeVries was not a member of the Order, then it's unlikely we ever exchanged mats. Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. Good intentions have led scienticians in the past to stray down paths most troubling. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution. Besides the highly caustic Serenium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay.
Fascinating. Your fear response must be suffering from some impairment. Likely the result of a traumatic brain injury. I'd have to open you up to be sure.
A generous offer, my friend, but I don't think the agent is interested in exploratory surgeries at the moment. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Earth Directorate Agent is just a title. I'd seek to know who you are beyond that bit of headline.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. Most assuredly not. It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Please convey that fact to whomever you speak with.
And here I was under the impression that investigating crime and injustice was primarily what Earth Directorate agents do.
He's got us there, Commander.
At any rate, I trust whatever's uncovered over the course of this investigation will serve as compensation enough. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will.
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis. Yes.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on Seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine. Both, I should hope. We've been collaborating for many years, and, plan willing, for many more to come. Especially given how very uncertain life in the colony has become. That is a statue of the matriarch, Alexandra Varric, Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wiley can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
Being this close to DeVries, feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander? It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Anti-Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out.
You beheld that new rifle up at the monastery? The Oracle?
Where to first, Commander? Enray Range, Serenium Manufactory, or Outpost Opportunity?
What caused the schism between the Protectorate and the Order? The Consul tried to kill presiding Bishop Ruth Bassan.
I think I'm gonna vomit. No, wait, it went back down. I'll try not to sneeze on you, but no promises. Law, finally. Real relief for my fake symptoms. Let's see it then. Now that you mention it, you do seem to be of a genuine sickly disposition. Here, buy your own medicine. This one's mine. Besides, I'm guessing you need something stronger for whatever it is you've got. You have my gratitude, stranger.
I remember this place before the war. Functioning tramiculars. Peaceful sun.
Troublemaker approaching!
Architect. I hope this does not turn back into an act. This is the Order's anti-air control center. If you don't have specific business here, kindly keep moving.
Even just a mention of Auntie seems to get your blood boiling, Ibarra. Don't tell me you judge folk before you get to know them.
I'm sorry, what's there to know? I mean, apart from her bottomless greed and bad hair.
Hey now, she's much more than you think. She's a visionary. Did you know that the formulation for rehydrated water came to her in a dream?
You definitely just made that up.
Did not. It was part of our... Look alive, Commander. Rat's raring to go. Finally, we can get back to talking. Did not. It was part of our training to memorize these fun facts. Potential buyers love them.
Do I seem like your target demographic?
No. But I do think you'll enjoy learning about how she has 2 pet teacup canids, named Mammon and Pretty Penny. Pretty Penny has mauled 3 VPs this quarter, at last count.
Law be damned. You're right. I did enjoy that fact.
Malfunction, laboratory mishap, and/or miscellaneous unspeakable dangers. Please log in at a more convenient time.
Hello? Someone there? Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zerania Manufactory 7 presently and for an indeterminate time is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the Abbot? But we don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir.
This is Factor Métonnier. Am I to understand you have orders from the Abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Oh. Very well. Come inside and we'll see this sorted. Building on the left.
Yes, right over here. So, the Abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Wait, is that an Auntie's Choice enhanced soldier with you? Oh, I see what this is. Stay back. We have no desire to escalate things further. Don't do something you'll regret.
We want answers, not a fight. And if indeed there's any retribution to be had, it won't be by my hand. Tell him, Commander.
Surely. Far be it from me to question the irreproachable prudence of an enigmatic caller. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the Abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. The recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. We have no desire to resume open warfare with Auntie's Choice. One of our transport pods, filled with Zeranium, was diverted toward, or more specifically at, their location. We have a working hypothesis about who is responsible. Initial evidence looks rather conclusive, and we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations. This facility has been an archetypical example of constancy and regularity. Ergo, the last place anyone would predict anything unpredicted would occur. Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. A move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. No, thankfully. Not yet, at any rate. Architect willing, that will be the last of it. Now, you'd best speak with our proctor. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results.
Conversation is not possible at this or any time.
It evidently originated here. Transport pod full of Zeranium. Blue outpost opportunity to naught but tinges and splendors.
This unit is currently unavailable for meaningless interaction.
What I'd like to know is why our illustrious seer provided zero. The Proctor's a low-functioning functionary at best. I'm probably not best for me to talk clear to speak.
This unit beautifully acknowledges your presence. This unit's current work task takes priority over conversation. Farewell.
What are you doing up here? How did you get past the gate? Forgive me. All this business with the lockdown puts one on edge. Everything appeared routine at the time. We launch transport pods into space regularly. They get collected. The Zeranium we refine here is used for power. It wasn't until we heard the explosion that anyone knew anything out of the ordinary had happened. I ran a systems audit on the launch sequence afterwards. Just finished constructing a report on my findings, actually, if you'd like to hear it. A transport pod full of Zeranium was fired from here, at Outpost Opportunity. It subsequently exploded in spectacular fashion. Terminal input functions down below in operations. The low-ranking scientist who launched the pod is inside. Regrettably, that is all I know. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Apologies, this unit's conversation module is functioning intermittently.
Initiate Alpha, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at once.
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Emergency detoxification initiated. What's her name took over? Things have been a mite haywire.
Yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. A low-level subordinate, assigned here years ago. But I'm now realizing how little we actually know about her. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alpha seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand trying to pry free the outer doors. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. Whatever for. We've already established her guilt. Failed to see the use, frankly. I suppose some limited nosing about before dispatching her wouldn't hurt. Presuming she doesn't kill us all in the meantime. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she's no longer a problem.
Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never concluded. Hello. Come here often. Goodbye. This unit enjoy our banter.
Don't bother conversating unless you're prepared to cite your sources.
Now, this is it. Would you describe the miraculous tracer as slathering when it attacked? How much viscous fluid would you estimate? You okay?
I have nothing to say, unless you want to discuss
Please
the
don't take me
inputs
on
of
the
the plane
tangents.
function. In which case, I'll talk your ear off.
2 exemplar. Lovely day for
Sorry to
differential
cut you off,
geometry.
but I'm encumbered with various
Of course,
concerns
she's
of
hiding
existential
something. You think those 2
Investigator.
exemplars just fell
Factors
wrong?
ahead on
They're
that.
hardly Alpha's been here for how many
No
years?
reason to reason.
I never noticed her. Just blended in with the scenery somehow.
Investigator? Always account for standard deviation.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.
Now's not really the time for a chat. You need something?
Please keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
Glad those not skilled at math can fulfill some other function.
All your endeavors add to the equation. May circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Investigator. Please, don't distract me from my more pressing distractions.
Think thrice before rabble-rousing. We have numerical superiority.
Oh, hello. A visitor. Who is it they're sending now?